Hello, good evening, welcome. We have 15, potentially 16 drivers on the track this evening. We are waiting for Remco to get into a car. Esteban on a lap, as is everybody. Tires for on this one lap shootout for pole in the sprint race in round 3 of season 17 of Euro. As I am eating away my pizza. So watching Esteban here go around Copse Corner beautifully into Maggots and Beckett's now. As I am munching away. Quite a tricky corner in this year's game, as it used to be very much just flat out. Now it's it's a bit more finesse, should we say. But yes, we are motoring along here. If you're just tuning in, good evening. Martin Lobb, hello sir. Yes, Gerald Harris is a rising talent. I'm just going to be in 25's rest of that. Just like that, he has dominated the field. People have been disqualified. Oh God. Thomas Rupnik in P2, that's interesting. Last time we saw him, he was tangling with Ivan Belov in Australia. So, it will be Esteban on pole with Thomas Rupnik in the front row. Then, Andrei Fashchenko in P3. Anila can only go P4. Brad Keen Hodgson in P5. Ronaldinho on P6. Bastian Vries in P7. Joe Harris, Daniel, Alex Carrick, Lucas Giraja are those who set a time, and the rest of the field did not set a time. Yes, Martin, we got bread, but we lost yeast. That is very true, but life goes on. Poor Macaulay got taken out by Alex, the Torpedo Theodore. Check out our TikTok edit of that. Anyway, for the sprint, it looks a bit overcast, but no rain as of yet. So we'll see what happens here. I'm assuming it's going to be dry for the whole sprint. For anybody wondering, I got a Domino's tonight. Barbecue sauce, chicken, mushroom, and peppers. Chef's kiss. A good Saturday night treat. As we're just waiting for these fine ladies and gentlemen to get their saps done. So I'm munching away. If you can hear me munching away, my apologies, by the way. Well, I don't give a fuck, but it's fine. Busy morning. Playing tennis, watching the rugby, and now commentating on the fine folks in F1 of Euro. And it is go time here. We got a few red lights, 16 drivers on the grid in F1. Sprint race is off. Who gets the best start? Esteban gets a flying start. Anila already up to P3. Andre got to P4. Anyone having chaos into turn 1? No, as a Ferrari got off the track there. It looks to be Keen Hodgson. As the two Haas's make contact there between Joel and Christian. Further behind them, the Alpine and the Mercedes of Lucas Giraja and Mohamed Faizan are battling away. But everyone seems to get away quite safely at the start of the sprint race. 15 drivers still in the grid. Apo Said has joined us as well. He'll be taking part in the main race. Good to have you on board, Mr. Said. Where he famously, I think, it was Spain where he got banned. The two VCOBs, Maritab Ali and Bastian Vries fighting along with Daniel further in the back. Does Daniel have wind damage or something there? He's going awfully slow. Doesn't look like it. Keen Hodgson and Joel Harris fighting for P6 going through the exit of Copse Corner. Into Maggots and Beckett's. You don't want to be near someone here. As Elliot Parker murdered me last night. Down the Hanger Street we go now. Into Stowe. And Keen keeping the position. Mohamed Faizan and Alex Carrick battling further down the field. And Thomas Rullick not drifting away from Esteban, and he's gaining. So Thomas putting up a fight here against the supposed speed demon that is Mr. Esteban. That's just not going to cut it there, and he's going to lose about 2-3 tenths here, all the way down the straight. DRS wide open. Now into Brooklands we go here, and you just see that wider line Esta takes. So you can get a better exit, and he does indeed. Look at that, improving by over a tenth. Now, into Cobbs now, we see him. And Thomas is keeping here. So is Anila. Andre and Camel, everyone very, very close to each other. There's almost contact there. And that's going to compromise Thomas to the drivers behind, and Anila's going to have him here, I think. That's going to give Esteban a little bit of a breather or a buffer. At least for now, Christian Grams and Keane Hodgson battling. Keane goes off the track, loses a few positions. Ronaldinho with the fastest lap, all the times dropping there rapidly. As we see Anila closing in on the Alpine and Thomas Rullick. Alpine would have a good point haul today if Lucas Duraja can get a few positions. And who'd have thought it? If Esteban wins this race, Kick Sauber will have a great weekend too. And the cross-steer constructors as Ferrari's doing nothing. Joel Harris is spun or something. And he's taking David Steck with him. And he's still spinning Joe. Oh god. That's the end of Joel's sprint race. And Dowd's pretty much. Bastian Breeze hanging out the back here in P13, going through Brooklyn. As now we ride on board with Alex Carrick in the Williams here. And Marta Bali very close to the back of Keane Hodgson. But he's not going to be near enough to make the move. Doesn't have DRS either. Marta just having a look here. Just checking out his front of the field. Thomas Rullick has dropped a load of positions. He's spun. Oh my. Into the very chicane, he's spun. And that's not the safest of rejoins. It's unfortunate for them. Dowd into the bits. He's retired. Well, that just kind of seals the sprint anyway. Austin will win this quite comfortably now, as his main competitor, who is within a second, has disappeared. Thomas is going to have to do some hard work here to get back up, as Joel also retiring after that incident with Dowd. So Anila here, he's our championship leader. They will have to put the foot down if they want to catch up with Eston. Andrei Feschenko having a great race at the moment in P3 with his teammate Ronaldinho in P4. Maritab and Keane fighting in the middle of Maggots and Beckets. A strange place to battle. Alex Carrick here gaining as well. Will the slipstream make a big difference here? Not really. S17 says the fastest lap of the race. The on the soft speaker. Lucas Duraja is on the hards. Yes, tyre wear is very, very heavy here. Ronaldinho also on the hards, is interesting to say. Andrei Feschenko as well. Is this strategy for the main race to save a set of tyres? We will find out. There will be 17 drivers in the grid now when Apo Said and Remco Smits also join us. 26 laps. And it's India versus Pakistan currently, as Mohammed Faizan gets the move done against Maritab Ali. But here comes Maritab, not gaining into cops, thankfully, as Maritab decides to make his own track limit. Sam Kent would love to see that. And Lucas Jaraja and Christian Brahms getting frisky with one another. All's fair in love and war at the home. Preston's just checked out. 3 seconds in the lead. I think the likes of Giovanna Ortiz could give him a challenge, but I fear the drivers currently are not going to be able to do so. Luckily, he's not going to be racing all that much this season. But these are your main three. James King not racing tonight. Zeston's in a world of his own, but the two Red Bulls and the Williams fighting along, as I think this season is really going to come down to Ronaldinho and Anila for the title. Andrei Pashchenko stamping his authority on this race though as well, as we enter into lap 7 of 9. Further down the field, Ian Hodgson very close to the back of Maritab Ali. And right behind him is Alex Carrick, who's going to try and make a move into turn 3. It doesn't pan out. Keane almost goes into the back of Maritab. There's a bit of contact, but everyone looks okay. Again, a bit more wheel bagging. Space is given, very clean. But here comes Thomas Rullick making a move on Alex. There's a bit of a lock-up from Keane there. So these four are going to be very, very close to each other, going through Brooklyn side by side with the Williams and the Alpine. Who will get the better exit? Who's got the lower downforce on the drag race to Copse Corner? Look at this, we're going to potentially have a 3 wide at some point here, as Maritab goes a bit deep there. And he forces the Ferrari a bit deeper as well into the corner. Oh, that could have ended very, very ugly. Everyone keeping relatively safe here. This is great racing to watch, as Alex Carrick having to dodge, duck, dip and dive and dodge a bit more, and that's allowed Faizan and Maritab. That was silly. That was a silly move. And Maritab will drop all the way down to P12, as Rullick and Hodgson are battling along through the Vale chicane down the Lewis Hamilton straight, as a McLaren as well of Daniel Skrzak involved as well. Into turn 1 they go, up Albion Farm into Chapel. Estenba has just checked out, 5 seconds clear. As apparently João Santos is also joining the main race, which, another one. I have to try and find him now quickly. And this pack of drivers is now all kind of just, well, they've all lost each other. As Thomas Rullick is on his way, making the charge back up the field after an unfortunate spin he had when he was P2. Ronaldinho has overtaken Andrei Feschenko for P3 on the track. Another driver's joined, I'm assuming that's Zhao. And Ronaldinho getting past his teammate now. His title rival is next up ahead. What can he do? Anila 6 seconds behind Eston. It's only lap 9 as well. They're on the mediums, whereas Ronaldinho's on the hards, and his tires are going to be coming towards him a bit more. But is it too late in the race? For now, as Bastian and Alex fighting further down the field. Ronaldinho taking a bit of the grass with him as well. He's gaining, but it's not going to be enough, I don't think. And Anila will hold on to P2. As Thomas Rullick has had a moment again, this time they exited Caps and he's retired on track. That's naughty. And that's really naughty because... And he's left. Why is he left? Why has he left? Well, he's complaining. And he has left the server. Anyway, S17 will win the sprint race. There's words of Faizan killing Thomas, but it is what it is. As the pundits are praising Mohammed Faizan for his terribly dirty drive. We missed it on stream. Anyway, Eston, Charlie, Ronaldinho, Andre, Lucas, Christian, Faizan, Kian, Daniel and Alex run out the top 10, and Bastian and Maritab are the rest of the finishers. And it's raining for qualifying. Yes, Shady Gaming, Bastion Breeze is still going strong. Anyway, in the wet here, the wet, in qualifying for the main race. Shade maps. So, what is happening, Shade maps? Where did you go? Where are you now? What is happening with you in your life? João Santos says he did not choose a car. I'm alive, thank God, Shade. Eating my pizza. Enjoying life. Anyway. Eston Bab. Again on pole. Ronaldinho P2. Charlie P3. Alex Carrick in P4. Andrei Feschenko in P5. Apo Said in P6. Joel Harris in P7. Maritab Ali in P8. Dawid Stick in P9, Mohammed Faizan after killing Thomas Rillick in P10, Bastian, Lucas, Remco, Daniel. We have 3 tiers this season, Shade. Numbers are a bit down, but it is what it is. As it's raining for the main race as well, and that looks to be heavy rain too. But we got a loyal base of fans and drivers and everything else, so all good in the hood. Yes. Are you in good health now, Ali? Because the last time I spoke to you, you weren't in the best of health. Right, let's get this underway. It's going to be 5 of the best lights, and they're out. Esteban racing away. Joel Harris and Apo Said fighting away here. Ronaldinho does not challenge into turn 1. Further down the field, Andrei Feschenko and Alex Carrick are getting positions. This driver's going off the track. It looks like a V-carb. Bastian Rees potentially. Thomas Rullig's ghosted car is just thereabouts. Joel Harris up to P5, he's fighting Alex Carrick side by side. They go into turn 4, I think it is. Down the straight now. João Santos is in a car, he's in P13. Keith Hudson battling the ghosted car of Thomas Rillick. As further up the field, Alex Carrick and Joel Harris still battling away. Another V-Cab going miles on the track. That's Maritab Ali. It's all happening right now at the moment. It's all chaos at the moment here. as we are now lap 2 of 26 here. The Torpedoes are in F2, Alex, Theodore and the likes. Wrongson is gone for about the 17th time in 10 days. He keeps joining and leaving the server and just crying. That's pretty much it at the moment. Like I said, we have the same group of drivers around all the time. Marat Abadi has replaced you as our Pakistani driver in Aero. But he is a bit quicker than you, to be honest. But yeah. Remco in the wet is currently in P9, our wet weather specialist in F3. Apo Sade in P8. Dowd Steck, after a disappointing sprint race, is now in P7. Shade, I will accept that after the race, my good sir. Alex Carrick currently in P6 with Joel Harris. Joel Harris still in P5, that's interesting. Maybe it's just the traction control. Ronaldinho taking the fastest lap of the race. Will it dry up later on in the race? That is a good question. Well, for now, it is wet. It's probably windy as well. And the top 3 really reasonably set. Cian Hodgson and Christian Brams have been tied together since the sprint race, and they just have not stopped battling one another. And João Santos is battling Baston Breeze, but it's a bit far away. So the gap's not being built as quickly as they were in the sprint because of the wet weather. And drivers having to be a bit more careful. Ronaldinho's taking the fastest lap of the race so far. Taking it to Esteban. I just keep thinking of Dembaba. But anyway. So he's not going to easily run away with this one. Is the track going to start drying up? That is the question. Doesn't look like it anytime soon. And having a bit of a moment there. And the exit of Ludfielding is. Like that. These two, the top 2, have just kind of run away, and Neelick hasn't got any answers at the moment. They are in P3, Andrei Feschenko in P4, Joel Harris still in P5, Alex Carrick in pursuit. Dowd Steck looking for a better sprint result in this sprint race in P7, Apo Sade in P8, Remco Smeets P9, Lucas Jaraja quietly in P10 at the moment. Not a whole lot happening with him, or Maritab, or Cian, or Christian. Bastian a bit of ways away in P14, 4 seconds. João Santos is right behind him, and João is gaining. Further up the field, Alex Carrick making a move. As these two going side by side into the Lewis Hamilton straight. Joel Harris going to make a move when you least expect it. Decides to nearly cut the corner there. That might be a track limit warning. A Ferrari, a Dowd Steck, and Apo Sade in behind in close pursuit. Apo Sade having a bit of a wobble there. foot too soon on the gas as Joel deciding to drift around corners now. The fast and the furious Joel Harris drift. No DRS activated as of now due to the wet weather conditions. Rain seems to be staying the way same it was. As you see the Ferris wheel here in Brooklands. Now Joel is gaining on Alex. He's closing in on him rapidly. And here comes Apo Said on downward stack into cops and aiming contact. Rear right to front left. Everyone keeps it together. Remco meets with a 3-second time penalty. And it is all happening now in the midfield. Estenbaz dropped Kamil Pliszczynski by 1.5 seconds, but Kamil is gaining. Eston's taking the fastest lap of the race. He's really come into his own now. Lap 6 of 26. And there's still ways to go in this race here as Maritab is dropping positions to Christian and to Kian. And he's down to P13. Further behind, Zhao and Rees fighting for P14 with Daniel also there in about. Faizan's down in P17. Ronaldinho has now gained a little bit of time on the driver in P1. Aston now going even faster into lap 7 of 26 as Anila has been quite quiet so far. They are in P3 with Andre miles behind. And then you've got this whole pack from Alex all the way down to Remco. In reality it's Alex all the way down to Maritab. Very close to one another in the back four all together. There's Joe Harris still riding along in P6. A good result for them so far. Normally Joel has done something stupid by now, like spun or committed some terrorism. There's still a few drops of rain present, as it's a great camera angle here. You're seeing the Ferrari of David Steck and the McLaren of Apo Said in hot pursuit of that Haas. Joel leads them through Copse Corner. And only one driver at a time penalty so far, which is quite good. All things considered, I think in the F3 race last night, everybody finished with a penalty nearly. So, keep up the good work, lads, as Ronaldinho losing a bit of time to the driver ahead. And Charlie not really gaining all to get up much either. But here we go. Dawood Steck going to try to move on Joel Harris round the outside. Joel has a wobble there. Apo does well not to go into the back of him. Eston going even faster. And now here comes Apo Said on Joel Harris as well. And just like that, Joel, who's having a great race up to that point, has dropped down 3 positions the last few laps. And he's down to P8. And he's sliding all over the place. Has he cooked his tyres? Has he overdone it? as Cian Hodgson and Lucas Girage are really getting into it here. You see it again with this amazing helicopter angle. Lucas and Cian really, really close to one another as Remco there, as there's a yellow flag in Sector 2. And it's none other than, who did we say was going to spin? We did say Joel Harris was going to come off, and he has unfortunately done so. He's all the way down to P13. That puts Alex and Dowd up a few positions. Lucas Girage is the second driver of the day with a time penalty. And further at the back, the F3 boys still fighting for P14. Joel Harris now the next driver to get a 3-second time penalty for track limits as Cian Hodgson gets past Remco Smeets for P9 on the track. Esteban going even faster now. Joel into the bits. Change his tyres. He wants to burn through them as we're into lap 9 of 26. And now Said and Dowd fighting. Can Cian get involved or no, he can't. Right, as Dowd holding off Cian at the moment. Or should I say Dowd being held off by Apple at the moment. Alex Carrick in hot pursuit of Andrei Vaschenko. As there's a yellow flag in Sector 3, Lucas Girage is gone. And that's going to bring out the safety car. Looks like he's gone in the main straight. It is in the Lewis Hamilton straight. Unfortunate for the Dutch Polishman. And that will bring out the safety car. Do you expect the field to pit here is a good question. And we do indeed see the leader pit. And this kind of resets the whole race, the whole standings, as Aston Bauer was nearly 8.5 seconds clear. As the field has not even caught up to the safety car yet, just Heston. That's how far ahead he was. So we're going to have at least probably another 2 laps of safety car here. As we're halfway through the race. And yet everyone still hasn't caught up with the safety car. It's only up to P5. Right, so Field has still not caught up amazingly. Who are we waiting for? As Paisan's just out of the pits. Joel right ahead of him. And then Zhao. And we're still not underway here. As the safety car is in, and we're going to get away under racing. Back on lap 15 of 26, 11 laps to go here, or 12 laps to go. And Esteban has lagged every single way around it. And Ronaldinho unable to challenge here, but however, Charlie and Andre are quite close. As Andre really close to the back of the Williams. Alex Carrick also in and about. Apo Said there as well, as Faizan and João Santos are fighting, as João just gets forced off the track there. He loses a few positions. As Joel has lost his mind with his damaged front wing. Has been a risky dive there into poor innocent Mohammed Faizan. Further up the field, Ronaldinho almost dropped a second already to Esteban. Fucking hell, this guy's quick. Whole field that separated by less than a second. Christian Prams and Remco Smits fighting at the exit of Maggots and Beckett's. So there you go. Dawid Steck with a 3-second time penalty. He's the 4th driver to have a penalty this race. And if you're just tuning in, we have lost only one driver. Ronaldinho with the fastest lap of the race, so he's gaining. As they're all on fresh inters now. And here comes Ronaldinho. He has to go wide into turn 3. That allows Anila to take the position. What can he do? And he comes right back at Anila here. Getting that position back as Dawid Steck has left the session. Oh god. And you can just see there in the background that Camel has kept the position. He's just trying to get Dawid back in. Faizan, 5th driver of the day to get a time penalty. No sign of the rain easing up just yet. Dawid's dropping positions like a hot potato. And Ronaldinho very, very close to the back of Esteban. If he's going to overtake, this is his chance. This lap is going to be Anila right behind as well. Dawid's back in the lobby. Andrei Feschenko right behind. So now we've got a 4-way battle for the lead as Andrei hits the back of Charlie's car. Alex Carrick also arriving on the scene. Bastian Vries getting a 3-second time penalty. It is all happening now after what has been a bit of a snooze fest, it must be said, for the first 14 or so laps. We have come alive here from lap 15. 5 drivers very, very close. Apo Said also there, just a little bit away. everyone just keeping it nice and safe here. Nobody going any way adventurous. Maritab Ali in P7 at the moment as we enter into lap 17 of 26. Ronaldinho, yeah, again, he's dropped a bit of time there, but he's right on the tails of Esteban here, so go down the old pit straight. He's not going to make a move into Copse, but there's nothing to separate these two at the moment. Anila right behind as well. Andrei Fashchenko right behind that as well. Into Maggots and Beckett's. That's brave from Camel. That's really brave. He's really pushing the car here. Has to be careful to not make contact or lose too much time. Has lost a bit of time as a result of that. And here comes Anila. No move to be made just yet. Esteban takes the racing line. And here comes the rebel of Andrei Fashchenko. Here comes Apostate. No move just yet, but this is all heating up here. The top 6 separated by less than 2 seconds. Darwin, Steck and Daniel are fighting further down the field, but it is all happening here as we enter into lap 18 of 26. This race has well and thoroughly come along alive. Esteban trying to break the toe by going off the racing line. Well, he's put me to sleep in the first half of this race. Now in the second half, he's all woke me up. João Santos with a 10-second time penalty for speeding into the pits. That's probably his race done. However, Andrei Fashchenko very closely to the back of Anila. Ronaldinho very close to the back of Esteban, going down the straight into left field. No move being made, just almost contact with the back of these two. And into Brooklands we go. The long swooping right-hander. And here comes Anila too. And they're looking to make a move for P2. Anyone could win this race at the moment. And here comes Ronaldinho. He's gotten a better exit. He's gaining into Cobb's corner. Nothing being made from it just now. But the move was on there. As you see, Andrei Fashchenko going wide at Copse. How is that going to cost him a position to Apostate? Not at the moment. He gets a 3-second time penalty as well. Into Maggots and Beckett's we go. Again, Ronaldinho so much more braver with his throttle than Eston. And he did a bit of a spin there. He's lost a bit of traction. And Charlie coming in the rear view mirrors. Up the hill we go to Stowe. Again, amazingly, no positions have changed. And Andre and Apo are fighting now. And Ronaldinho biding his time. This is yellow flag in Sector 3 for some reason. Cian Hodgson and Alex Carrick battling for P7. Maritabali's up to P6. Again, the toe attempting to be broken by Esteban as we enter into lap 19 of 26 in this wild second half of this race. And Ronaldinho, it just seems to have better grip at the moment. He just seems to be more in control of his car at the moment. And here we go, down the straight here. Lovely angle here. You can just see that Anila's just dropped a bit back. But Camel diving down the outside here. Can he make the move stick? He can. He goes a bit wide off the track as a result of that. Here comes Anila. And here comes Andrei Fashchenko through Ludfield. Apostate also still hanging around, along with Maritabali and Cian Hodgson behind. And Ronaldinho's dropped a bit away back now after that failed attempt at a move. But he's not giving up at the moment. Bit of weaving to break the toe again into Cop's corner. But look at this, and look how much Ronaldinho is going to gain here. Another a 3-second time penalty for Andrei Fashchenko is going to be disastrous. They're going side by side in Maggots and Beckett's. Just contact as Ronaldinho trying to get ahead here at the exit here, and he does so. Esteban down to P2 for the first time in this race. Anila waiting in the wings to make a move. Andrei Fashchenko's got that penalty that's really going to derail him. Apostate also with a penalty, and Esteban taking the lead again in this race in the Stowe. But Ronaldinho on the outside now, and Esteban's dropped into P3. Charlie is up to P2. What is going on here? Oh my word, I'm not going to be able to speak after this race. Has Esteban got wing damage? Has something happened? Andre's got a mile off the track here. Apo Said's going to make a position. Alex Carrick is going to be making a position as well. And just like that, Ronaldinho is now up to P1 after leading this race for the whole first 16, 17 laps. It's taking him 20 laps to get to the lead, but he's done it now. He's 6/10 clear. Our leader, who's someone who was dominating this whole race, has had a disastrous safety car restart. Yes, Zeman Esteban is here, and he's had a poor second half of the race, it must be said. After what was a dominating first half, it's just gone all pear-shaped. Alex Carrick and Andrei Feschenko. Andrei, another victim of the second half of the race of the safety car restart. He was on for a podium. Now he's in P6, net P8. Apo Said needs to pull away. Here, it's been a wild second half here. Now second separates P2 and P3. It's going to be now Nila versus Ronaldinho for the win. The top two in the standings. The two who are fighting for this championship. I'm cooking on comms here tonight. I was asleep for the first half of this race, I am not going to lie. But this second half has really woke me up. This is great stuff to watch here. Maritab has got Christian Prams right on him on the Vale chicane, and Maritab almost going into the back of Andre there, and was almost game over for the two of them. Dowd, Stecken, Bastian Vries fighting alongside each other. As it's going to be a disappointing day for Ferrari in the cross-tier constructors, as Remco has left the session but gone P1. Remco, my goat. Anyway, hanging in the Louvre, Remco Smeets is leading an F1 race here in ERO. That's an unusual glitch. Let me see if I can get this sweaty chicken back in. As now the deltas begin to settle down now, and a bit of distance between everybody after those chaotic few laps. Yellow flag in sector 1, that looks to be Joel Harris coming out of the pits. And then the closest battle in the top 5 is Apo Said versus Esteban. Remco's back in the lobby. Absolute chaos. Not like the F2 chaos we had last time with Alex Theodore returning to give his signature terrorism. But not too far off it. Just cleaner racing, that's all. Oh. I'm old, guys, I'm old. Right, if you're just tuning in, good evening. It's been a wild second half here. Esteban led the whole race, and then after a safety car restart by 2 laps later lost the lead. He was in P1, he's dropped all the way down to P3, and Nila and Ronaldinho are both now fighting on, where it's Ronaldinho's race to lose here, it must be said. As Joel Harris is on dries. As the race beginning to settle down now, things beginning to calm down. You can hear the traction control of Andrei Feschenko working overtime there. Maritab Ali quietly is in P6 at the moment. Another very strong drive by Maritab. That's what he does best. He just does these quiet drives, just brings the car in. And Ronaldinho will lead us into lap 23 of 26. He is 2 seconds clear of his nearest rival, of his title rival, Andre, into the pits. Red Bull blowing up here, crashing out as it seems. Wow, well, anyway, Daniel into the pits. And Esteban is coming back now, and he's gaining on Charlie. Anila has got to get their elbows out now for these last few laps if they want to hold on to P2. Apo Said is fighting for P4 with Alex Carrick, as they've got a few seconds of a time penalty. Where is the penalties? There it is. Well, he's got 16 seconds, so I don't think he'll be fighting too much. I think Alex Carrick is going to comfortably take that, as he hits the DRS brake marker board. So a bunch of drivers with 3. Remco at 12. That's good going. Well done. As the race begins to reasonably settle down here, now the main battle becomes the fight for P2 between Eston and Anila. And here comes Estenba on the outside. Oh, and there's a bit of contact there. Oof. Just misjudged the turning in point there. Is Joe Harris with another 10-second penalty? For track limits? That must have been one hell of a corner cut. And just like that, this skirmish has now ended before it began, really. And does Eston have wing damage? That's the question. Can't see anything visible there. But Ronaldinho has checked out, over 3 seconds in the lead for the ERO admin. Nobody can stop him as Joe Harris is retired after cutting the most heinous of corners. But like, I don't know why he was on the mediums anyway. In this bloody weather. It is not dry up, it's still wet. As we're into the penultimate lap here now, and these two getting ready to battle yet again. Looking for a bit of water just to cool the tyres down, maybe just a little bit. Looking for that wet line as the tyre deck is very heavy in this track. Anyway, getting back to it, Estenba is going to have a few more attempts to overtake Anila for P2. But this is not going to happen anytime soon. Further down the field, Maritab Ali in a similar predicament with Alex Carrick. Alex is all but guaranteed P4. Unless himself and Maritab tangle, and they are going to be tangling, as Alex has had a bit of a wobble there in the exit of Ludfield. And here comes Maritab Ali drag racing, never mind. As I think Alex used quite a bit of battery there. But further up the field, these two are tangling yet again. As Eston almost goes into the back of Anila there, and again has to basically just reset and start from scratch. We're into the final lap here. Ronaldinho, only 2 seconds now. He's lost a bit of time to the Polish woman behind. Andrei Feshchenko in P9, battling away with Bastian Vries. Andrei, who was P3 at one point. And Maritab has overtaken Alex. So these two are going to have to also fight. As Maritab's gone very deep there. Faizan with a 3-second time penalty. I think Alex has just joined him off the track. Further up the field, it is this man's day, as long as he keeps his head for the next collection of corners. Kamil Plizhakinski going to win a very interesting sprint and race in F1 round 3. Remco Schmid's deciding he wants more time penalties. And that's going to be all she done, folks. As Lesnar has a bit of a wobble in the exit of Beckett's there. And it's only P3 for them. It's going to be P2 for Anita. It's going to be, though, the young man from Poland on a lot of holidays with his wife this year. He's going to go through the Veo chicane for the last time. They're going to overtake Thomas Rullick's ghosted car. And it will be Red Bull on the top step. Followed by Williams, followed by Sauber. Aposaid will cross the Rhine next, but where will he finish? P8 maybe? It is indeed P8. Maritab Ali comes P4. Alex Carrick in P5. Christian Prams P6. Dowd Sek in P7. Aposaid P, as we've already said. Next across the line will be Andrei Feshchenko. Alex Carrick says he had 90% tyre wear. As this is a collection of bodies for Bastian Vries to cross the line. Then it's going to be Remco who will lose the position to Daniel and Mr. Hodgson as more death is occurring. And last but not least, Faizan and João Santos. And that's going to be all she wrote, folks. Apparently a lot of drivers complaining about tyre deg. Right, let's get the final standings here as Ronaldinho takes P1, Charlie P2, Esteban P3, Maritab, then Christian, Alex, Andre, Dawid, Lucas, and the rest DNF'd. And we're just going to get the race director for anyone who needs it. Donate your GP next week, so you will know where you're racing on Wednesday. From myself and the rest of the ERO team, have a great rest of your weekend, and if you're going to watch the Eubank fight, enjoy that. Good night.